Hello everyone, this is Agil, and today we're going to look into our exercise 3 of our DBMS class. So in this exercise, we have to modify the test3.java file which is available in the GitHub. So yeah, let's start with it. So first thing is to import the database package into our Eclipse IDE. I've already done that here. So it's in my users and database, and like I say, I've got my packages here. The next step is to read the SQL insert statements and update and delete statements in test3.java. And we have to incorporate one create, four inserts, five selects, and one update and one delete. So here we can open our test3.java file. I've already made the changes. So I'm going to explain this code now. So here we are just importing all the packages which are necessary for this code to run. Here we are setting up our data objects as null initially, and then here are the SQL statements that we are going to run using the statements command and statements execute command. So the SQL one statement tells if the table student already exists, we're going to drop it, and the SQL statement 2 says that if the table does not exist, then we're gonna create ID with the integer value, which if it is not null, then we're going to auto increment it. That is stating we are going to auto increment ID values and we are not going to enter them. And the name, it's given a variable character of size 20, and the address is a variable character of size 50, and the status is also a variable character of size 10, and the primary key is ID here. So the third SQL statement states that we can insert into student table where the values are question marks. These question marks will fill in while entering the statements. The fourth one is also insert statement with the name Liu and their address and the status. And the fifth statement is the update statement where we update the address where for the name Liu. So whenever this name is found, it will update the address as 123 New Main Street. And the sixth statement is a delete statement where the name is Mary Queen. So whenever it finds a name called Mary Queen, it's going to delete the record. Right. So here we're going to connect to our database localhost where our username is John and my password is pass134. And here are the execute statements which I talked about earlier. So the SQL statement 1 will be executed with the command statement dot execute update. So likewise, statement 2 will update, that is creating the table. And then statement 3, we have to enter our values in the question marks. So the first value that we enter in the string will be Liu, and then the address, and then the status. And then we're going to execute statement 4, which is another insert statement, which I already seen here. And then we're going to insert two more statements. This is my name and then address and then my status as a senior, and then another data which is Jackie, who's living on this street and this address, and the same goes here. It's another data. Now with this statement we can see the results of all the students that we have inserted, and after that we are doing select statements up to 5, I think, to display different kinds of data. So first one we're going to see is that the students where their status is only junior. So we're going to see students whose status is junior. And for the second select statement, we're going to see students whose name is like hens with the queen. So whose name contains the queen. So we're going to see statements like those for the second one. Third one, we're going to see students who are going to live in the same street, which is like called side street in our example. And the last one that we have here, we're going to see students who live in the place Lansing in our example. And after that, we're going to see some updated statements, which we already seen here. So we're going to change the address for that. And then we're going to see a delete statement. for a record named Mary Queen, so that record will get deleted. So the next function we can see here is called metadata, which is used to get the database names and table values from the inputs that we provide, so that metadata will be used there. And then there's another function called write result set, which we will use to get the column values of the database that we get using the metadata. So we can get the fields there like ID, name, address, and status using this function, and we can print it out for the in the command prompt to see it. And finally, we are going to close all our data objects that we use here. So let's see this model working. So let me just open command prompt and go to the place where I have saved these data, which is an exercise 3, I believe. And here we can use this to compile our code. So I'm just gonna copy paste this here so we can see gets compiled. As you can see, there are no errors. That means it is compiled successfully. And this is the code here to run this code. And boom, here you go. So let's start from the beginning with the data here. So we got a lot of data. So the first thing is it's gonna print out all the inserted values. We have 5 IDs here with names and address and status, as you can see. Next, using the first select statement, we're gonna see the junior students that are available. So here you can see that there is only 2 junior students, that is Liu and Queen, Jackie Queen. So we have 2 of their data here. And the third select statement you can see is for students with the name Queen. So from our data we can see that we have 2 students whose name contains a Queen in their name. So it's Jackie Queen and Mary Queen. We have those 2 data here. And the next select statement that we're using is for the students who live in the same street. In our example, it is a side street. So here we can see that this person lives in side street, and the same as Jackie Queen lives in the side street. So they are neighbors. And the next statement, we are gonna see the persons who are living in Lansing, and then we're gonna get the data. So this person Liu lives in Lansing, and then Mary Queen also lives in Lansing. So after that, we're gonna update address for Liu. So we're gonna change it to the new main street from here. So it just says 103 Main Street. We are changing it to new Main Street. Right. So after that, we're gonna see the delete statement. So as you can see here, all the 5 entries is displayed in the previous output of select. And here, after deleting a data, you can see that we have deleted the Mary Queen data and only 4 of them are executed here. So these are the 4 that are executed. So yeah, I think I've explained everything for exercise 3. If you have any doubts or anything that needs fixing, please let me know. Thank you.